love, fear, failure, success, and finally, survival. I've been through them all and came out stronger and healthier. Yeah, I went to a dark place, but talking about it pulled me out. My name is Sandy Crosse, and this is Crosse Conversations.
We are on. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Crosse Conversations. You guys can't see us, but Sandy's all smiling stuff from cheek to cheek.
You know, get mad at me when I tell you why I'm smiling too.
I'm gonna get mad, or am I gonna be like?
No, you're not gonna be mad. You're gonna be. You may blush because I was like, oh, listen to that voice. What it's doing?
No. I got a feeling where this is going, but I'm gonna let you do it. Go ahead. What do you got to say about the voice?
The voice coach, the voice actor.
Yeah,
just that sexy voice.
This is what happens when people tell you have a nice voice, and you're like, okay, and then someone tells you sound like a phone sex operator. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, what can I do with that? What can I do with that?
I've missed you. It's been 2 whole weeks.
It's been 2 whole weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Gosh, it feels like just yesterday.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's, first of all, the summer's over, basically.
Is it?
With August being here.
No, I'm sorry. July is like 3 months long. March felt like 6 months long. We got to be in 2021 by now.
You know what? July was long.
July was long. July felt every bit.
How many days does July have? 45?
I think I felt all 31 of those days. You know what it felt like? It felt like I was planking for the whole month. You know how when you planking and a minute feels like 28 hours?
Yep. Yeah. That's actually a good example. It's been jacked up. And I'm just like, what is happening? Well, they opened up the world and then they shut it back down.
I know, right? We're back on punishment again.
Yeah, we're back in lockdown. That's what I'm doing. I was like, you're in lockdown. I'm like, what was my crime?
You know what? Which is probably why I'm glad today we're doing such a free flow format. And we're just talking it out because the world is kind of crazy right now. By the time you hear this will all be a memory to you. But even still, it's just relax a little bit, have a conversation and just talk because it's so crazy right now.
It's so nuts. And, the nutness starts at the top, but I'm not even going to get political. Anyway.
Please don't.
It's just, no, I'm not. It's the madness that's around us it's mind blowing, and you would think, I said at the beginning of this in March, I said, you know what? I had some rose-colored glasses on, girl.
Did you?
I was like, at the end of this, we human beings are going to be so much more patient. We're going to be so much kinder to each other, blah, blah, blah. And all of that's been happening has been a bunch of thievery.
Okay, I was about to say, well, how long did that last?
I was just appalled because I heard about this one couple that got like almost $2 million in the scam with the checks and stuff like that, the stimulus checks and the small businesses. They have like 11 businesses. I'm like, who's checking these people? And they were on a plane to Budapest or something with the money, and they got busted. So I'm just like, why would you do that to people? Why would you steal somebody's stimulus check that's desperate? It's
Is
just
that
crazy.
what they were doing? They were still, see, I was thinking about too. I was like, the same people that's authorizing checks going to deceased people is the same people checking this stuff out. So clearly, what are we paying for? Like, I don't even know, but I choose not to go too.
Why? I'm just like, okay, so you sent a deceased person a stimulus check.
Uh-huh.
Now they're saying we want those deceased people's checks back. Well, people spent it.
People spent it.
You can't get it back. It was your mistake. It was your mistake. How are you going to ask for it back? You can't ask for it back. It's grant money. You granted, but then too, people that it was all a scam.
It's 3 people. I'm telling you, it's 3 people I don't play around with. It's the I, the R, and the S. So yes, if those people cash those checks, trust and believe the IRS will find a way to get it back.
Yeah.
They'll take it from your grandkids. They'll take it from your dreams. They will take it.
Right? Oh, you died? Let me just take the taxes from the inheritance that you left your family.
Clearly, yes. They were like, that $10,000 casket, just get a 6 because we need that $4,000 back. So Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. One of my new business partners, he calls them, and we have to make sure we take care of our business partner. I'm like, what? I thought you were my business partner. He's like, no, our other business partner. I'm like, who else you bringing into this? He's like, the IRS.
That's man. See?
We have to count them in for everything. I'm like, wow. So my business partner, the IRS.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they got to get their money regardless if anybody else doesn't get theirs. They got to get theirs.
You're dead, girl. Even when you're dead. I remember when my mom died, I'm grieving and stressing, and I'm getting calls like, we can't find her. She owes on her student loan. Oh, I can't find her. She had back tax. Well, the student loan, I guess, is from taxes or whatever. I'm like, yo, she's dead. Well, where do you live? I'm like, I had nothing to do with it. You don't need to know where I live.
Oh, that's
because,
right.
Well, you're the next of kin. Maybe she left you some money that you can pay. I'm like,
do they go that far? Please tell me, Doc.
They are a trip. They were like, she left some money, right? So maybe you can pay out of that.
See, okay. I'm sorry. So now I'm curious, and maybe someone will help us with this answer. So the people that are trying to collect, do they get a percentage or something? Because saying, is that what it is?
Yeah, they do.
Because saying stuff like that means that's a low thing. Like you got left some money, right? And what if like, you know what? Actually, no, I got left bills. How about that? I got left bills that I got to pay. But you know what I did?
How about that?
But you know what I did? And I told my mom and my dad this. They're both living, thankfully. But I told them this before they go. I said, look, let me tell you something. What I'm going to do. I'm going to get a cell phone. And it's going to be fully charged. And I'm going to put it in the casket with you. And I'm going to tell everybody if they're looking for you and you owe them something, they got 16 hours to call you. That's what I'm doing. Don't call me. I got a number for you to call. It's going in there. And they laugh because, again, I have these conversations with them when they are of sound mind and body. So it doesn't sound evil. They kind of laugh at it, but they're like, okay. I said, yes, you're getting a cell phone in there with you. That's what I'm going to do.
It's hilarious. On the other hand, I said to the kids, I said, listen, so I'm working hard, blah, blah, blah. And when you guys were babies, little kids, I had a lot of life insurance because I wanted to make sure that you were okay if anything happened. And I said, now I'm making it a lot less than I had before because if anything happens, all you got to do is just pay off the house or put whatever you get into putting the house in your own name. I said, but I'm not leaving you any bills, but I'm not going to leave you a bunch of money either because I've done my job. I'm going to use that money for me.
I feel like you were in my household because I promise you, we had this same conversation the other day. Mike was talking about my husband. He was talking about, oh yeah, life insurance. I said, you know what? I used to have life insurance. I said, now I got enough money in my bank for y'all to bury me. So that's all you need is enough to bury me, right? That's all I need. That's all they need. They don't need hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars.
I got burial insurance. I'm like, so that's covered.
Yeah.
I'm like,
stuff will get paid off.
I got it to be cremated and just spread around. The same thing with my mom. Spread my ashes in some water, some ocean water. Don't be going to the lake. Go to the ocean.
Don't go to the lake. No, you don't.
Badass party.
They put you in a pond, Sandy. You're gonna be mad. Put you in a pond.
Yeah, don't be putting me in no damn pond unless it's in your backyard on your estate. Right?
She got specific rules. It needs to be in the ocean, okay? Do not try to put me in a river.
Don't be trying to put me in no lake. And if it's on a lake, it needs to be on your property, okay? Because you own that estate. That's all I'm saying. How do I put this? I don't think he expected the response that he got. And then when Don broke it up, he started talking about music composers. And then he was talking like he couldn't remember the name of the guy. And I'm like, I know exactly who you're talking about. And this and this and this is what he's done. And he looked at me like, oh, you do know. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, his name is Gershwin. That's what you're trying to think about. It's Albert Gershwin or whatever, and he's like, yes, that's it. Why did he start talking to me after that?
Okay. You found a common ground.
Mm-hmm. And I was still looking at him with the side eye like, you're racist anyway.
Oh, you still looking at him with the side eye right now. I see it.
Yeah, he is. I'm still looking at him with the side eye. Bubble Bear.
That's not his name, is it?
Oh, yeah, his name is Bear.
Oh, okay. Okay. And have you seen Bubba Bear since then?
Oh, no, this was yesterday. I don't plan to see him.
You're like, okay, he's off the list. So he won't be at the infamous barbecues and stuff. I see.
Oh, hell no. Okay. Oh, no. As a matter of fact, I'm having something on the 15th if you want to come by.
The 15th of August?
Yes, it's the August birthday month.
Oh, really? You know what? We're going to be up there on the 15th for the Milt Matthews Foundation food drive. So I can't believe we're coordinating this and talking about this right now. But that means I'll be there.
This is so funny. This is supposed to be free for all day, right?
It isn't free for all day, but you just making plans and inviting me.
What is that, though? I'm kind of curious about that. It's a food drive? Is it a nonprofit type of thing? What is that?
Yes, it's a food drive. So the organization works with homeless people, and their goal is to eradicate homelessness, at least one person at a time. And so over the years, they've been doing a play to increase awareness about it, and they actually help homeless people try to get back from, get through salvation to renewal to productivity. And there's some people, they have very good success stories where they're like running their own business and, they're in their own place and, just trying to help the community. And this particular weekend that you're inviting me, we're doing a community food drive, and we're also doing a school supply drive. So we're going to give kids backpacks with some school supplies and stuff. Even though they're going to be at home, we're aware that some kids can't afford to have a computer. So what they're doing is they may be bunching up and going to their friends' houses. So, have the backpack, have their stuff. They can go on over to wherever they're taking their classes. I know they're looking forward to being in school, but I think it's going to all be online still.
Well, Fairfax County is
all online. They already made the decision.
Oh, heck yeah, until 2021.
Wow.
Well, they said the first semester.
Yeah,
but Arlington County already said they ain't going back until 2021. Alexandria is like 2021. So Fairfax County is we're not going to go back until 2021. I can't see them saying, okay, kids, it's November. You can go back to school now.
Wow. Yeah.
So I think they're going back in January. And that's what they're preparing for is online teaching.
Wow. What a time.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you know what though? That's what it's called adjustments, and that's how you get adjustments, and that's how kids and adults too. You learn to adjust to what your situation is, and this is the situation right now. But a lot of people are killing themselves though.
Adapt and overcome. But yeah, people are killing themselves when they don't feel like they have any options, and they think that the world would be better, or things would just be better if they weren't here anymore. And
yeah, it's sad.
Get help, talk to somebody, know that you're not alone. I don't know. It's a tough spot.
You're not alone. And a lot of people who were alone, especially in the winter time in their house, in lockdown, by themselves, there's a lot of depression that sets in. We all have something, some demon, and just to be said, just especially if an introvert, a lot of introverts though, I know they're like, this is perfect.
Well, I know I'm not an introvert, but I felt like that first 2 months, I was like, oh, this is just the good old timeout that I need. Slow the world down. I was okay being in the house, watching Netflix and Hulu and catching up on shows and stuff and getting recommendations. And then you get like, okay, now I want to go back to eating out. I want to go back to having gatherings and going to see friends and family.
Yeah.
Like my mom, she is not playing with this social distancing. Like I go over there and she's standing far as me, as far as you are from me right now. You're in Northern Virginia. I'm in Hampton Roads. Like she stands back and she's like, all right, I love you. I'm here. I'm like, okay, Mom, got you. And my dad on the other hand, he's like, I don't care. He just grabbed me, hugged me, everything. So it's just
it's really just about being careful. I think a lot of people are not still taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm not around any of those people. Everybody around me is tested and everybody's been negative. The one person that tested positive, we haven't seen her since, I don't know, November.
Wow.
And she had a birthday party and I didn't go. And yeah, I'm going to say it. We were all being salty. We didn't go because she got married. And ever since she got married, She doesn't do anything with her girlfriends. It's only with him and his friends, or with him and her, us. So she won't do anything with just us girls. So she was at my birthday, and every party, every get together, everything that's been the last year, she hasn't made it to, except for one thing. One. And it's like, so I'm like, I've invited her to at least 4 different things, and she's never made it, and she's never said maybe, or even she just won't come. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be accepting any more of her invitations until she comes to one of mine. So I turned it down, not knowing that other people were saying and thinking the same thing. Well, nobody said nobody go out to her party except for her husband's friends. And that's when the vid set in.
Now that's interesting. Was the vid she did?
Oh yeah, he got the vid from his friends. It wasn't from her.
Where have I been?
Because none of her friends were there.
I've never heard it called the vid. Now I'm like, now I can't unhear it, but Rona, Corona, Rona. Yeah. Vid set in. Wow.
Oh yeah. I can't stand Rona. I don't know. It's just something. It reminds me of Rice-A-Roni.
The vid set in.
Every time I hear Rona, I think of Rice-A-Roni. And I didn't like that. I didn't like Rice-A-Roni.
Rice-A-Roni was a San Francisco treat. What are you talking about?
I know. I couldn't stand it.
Are we allowed to talk about products? I guess we can. It doesn't matter.
Sorry. Wait. If they want me to advertise for them?
Well, look, you're not going to be the spokesperson for Rice-A-Roni, not with what you just said.
Well, we'll get you a gig with them.
She's like, if you change your flavor, if you give me like a Jamaican style Rice-A-Roni.
Like jerk rice?
Jerk rice.
Rice and peas?
Rice and...
I think they have a red beans and rice that I've tried a couple of times that I could. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Zatarain's has a good red beans and rice. I guess because it's a New Orleans kind of thing.
Yeah. I didn't like any of those.
I mean, it's good with some sort of juicy gravy-ish chicken on top of it.
Gravy up on it.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's fair. So you lead me to a question though, since we're just talking about random stuff. I always wonder about this. And this is along the same lines of, if you invite someone to a party and they don't come, and then when they invite you, do you not go because you invite them and they don't show up? But let me turn it to something else.
Wait, hold on. What you just said? The same chick, she didn't come to my friend's birthday party last year because my friend didn't go to her birthday party because she had a prior commitment.
There is
so go ahead.
It's a whole cycle of stuff not happening because of, so I think about social media, right? And I see people doing raising money for some cause that they love and people donate to them, right? Now, I struggle. I'll tell this to anybody. I struggle with fundraising. So I do a lot of volunteer work with the idea, of course, giving back, but it's also to get skills because you can get stuff out of it and learn from it and learn from people. Fundraising is my weakness because if someone says, Shaunte, you got to raise $1,000 in 2 weeks. And I'm like, where's my credit card? Like, I'm just kidding because I don't like asking people for stuff. So let me get to the point. So people post these things on Facebook. I swear when I post stuff about fundraising, it's like crickets, or maybe 1 or 2 people may do something, right? And I'm like, all right, well, thank you. And then I look and I see all these people asking for donations for stuff. And I'm thinking, you guys don't seem to be donating to anybody else's stuff, or at least not to mine. And then I'm like, so no, I'm not donating because every time I try to, none of you, and without raising money, I would give to cause like, oh yeah, she's a heart. Great. Here's $20 or here's this, here's that.
Yeah.
And then I started adding it up. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, when I put mine out there, all these people that I did it for, crickets. I felt some kind of way.
Girl, I feel you because like I said, I wasn't going to go to her party because I was being petty and I called myself petty. But you, on the other hand, girl, you have every right to feel that way because yeah, I'm not going to be petty either.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go. I'm not calling you up because first of all the ones that do support me,
some people are just keep it in their little circle away about it. And it's, you don't necessarily have to say anything or whatever, but you just say it by not doing shit.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. I stopped because, I'll support people still. And it depends on case by case. Cause I got some people, I guess they're asking all the time, they're always putting something out there. And so I try to put that aside because I feel like just because they do it, it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I do whatever I move to do, whatever God tells me to do. Like, I know you don't like this, Shaunte, but go ahead and do it, But the human in me is like, really? Yeah. And again, I struggle with fundraising. I guess it's something about asking people for money. And I actually got coached through it and had tears coming down my eyes when the coach asked me a question about raising money. He's like, well, what was your philosophy on money growing up? And all of a sudden tears stuck. And I started telling him, I was like, there wasn't enough, and we couldn't afford certain things. And he's like, yeah, you made it your mission and not be in that position where you have to ask people. And even though I'm asking for other people, it still felt like I was asking for me. So my pride was like, oh no, I ain't asking nobody for no money. Are you crazy? So it's just funny how that stuff can trickle through, your history and stuff like that. But yeah, I know we weren't supposed to get deep with it, and I'm not crying about it.
No. I was sitting here listening to you talk and I'm just like, wow, she's hitting some nerves with me with this because I didn't think I was bothered.
I didn't either. So wait a minute, let me set it up for you.
As a matter of fact, I just tore off the end of my little frilly thing.
Let me set it up for you. So just like you were like, I didn't think I would be bothered by it. So with the situation of getting coached, I was in this training course and part of it meant that you had to get coached to learn about it. So you're in front of like 20 other people. And so they're like, oh, who wants to volunteer to get coached? And I was like, sure, I'll do it. And I'm thinking I could talk about this in front. It's not a big deal. I'm going to talk about, I have a fundraiser to do and I'm having a hard time doing it. And I'm thinking this is going to be easy to talk about. And sure enough, 2 minutes into the conversation, tears started coming down. And I was like, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be an easy topic. Girl, it hit a nerve. Like it hit me to the root. I was just thinking, I just don't like raising money. And it's really deep. So yeah, I was like, it touched a nerve too when I talked about it. I'm getting better now. Getting better. But
I just think I've dealt with some people in my life where, yeah, we all have struggles. When I was trying to buy a house, I asked 5 different people for help. And the help consisted of, because I had the money sitting in the bank just waiting, right?
But
there were closing costs and this, that, and the other. And I had sweated. There was nothing else. There was no more sweat left in me. There were no tears. There was no more liquid left in me to sweat it out. So I'm like, I was breathing like Darth Vader. The first one was my daddy.
Oh, man.
Because I didn't want to ask one person for too much money. So I split it up into 5. And I'm like, so... Can you, okay, I was hemming it on. I'm like, he's like, get it out, in his Jamaican accent, get it out now, Okay, Dad, I have the money for the down payment. I just need to collect the $12,000 that's going to be the closing costs. I just don't have it. And
like hyperventilating.
I was hyperventilating. And when he said, so how much do you need? I said, well, it's $12,000. I'm like, he's like, I can't do $12,000. I'm like, I wouldn't even ask. No, I'm asking 5 people. I'm like, what's the most you can do so that I know how much I have to divide the rest of it with? So he gave me like $3,000. And I said, oh, okay, so I have 4 more people to go. So it's going to be a lot easier. Uh-huh. So I went down the list with everybody else was $2,500 or something like that. And or less than that, like 2,000, and
right.
Everybody, the rest of the people went, because my dad's like, here, put the wire in my account. And this is 17 years ago. And then I asked another family friend, she's a friend of mine. They're like, oh, of course. I'm just like, oh, really? I promised everybody that I would pay, and like, Dad, it's going to take me 6 months to a year to pay you back because I'm just getting into the house, all that. But I will pay you back. 6 months to the day, I pay him back. And he said, I want to tell you, anything you need, you can really have it because you came, you asked, it was for a specific thing. You're asking, I'll pay you back. And I said, can you give me? and then you paid it back when you said you were.
That's right.
So anytime you need something, you have to credit with us. And it was the same thing about visiting. She's like, whenever you want to visit, you can come visit because you clean up the bathroom before you leave. You take off the sheets. You just leave it there for me to just wash. And
you're a good guest. Okay, yeah.
That's how it works. I'm a good guest. I got cred with the good guests, but yeah, it's just shocking to me that one of the persons I asked, which is a family member, I'm not going to say, Jacqueline. Anyway, another one, and I asked for the money, and she gave me the $2,000, and I told her I'd pay her back in 6 months. That one took a little longer, only because I was, the first year I had to replace all the plugs in the house. That was $6,000. I'm like, it wasn't until about 4 weeks ago, I was talking to somebody, and they're like, well, why didn't you call the homeowner's insurance thing? Because you get a year warranty.
Didn't know about it, did you?
I'm like, yeah, I do know. I've always just took care of everything myself.
Yeah, no, girl, the warranty.
I don't want to ask nobody for money.
Yeah.
So you start taking on these things that you don't have to because the resources are there, but you don't want to ask anybody because, it's money. But yeah, now this person came to me and asked me to borrow some money. This was 2 years ago. I still haven't gotten paid back. And I'm not going to ask.
So that person has bad credit with you right now.
Well, I'm not volunteering to help with anything. And that's the way
that means they got bad credit. You ain't trying to give up no more monies. They got bad credit.
The bid is here, so I'm trying to, I'm trying to be nice about it. But I'm like, even after the bid, to the point where one of the kids was just like, just write it off. You're not getting that back.
Yeah, count it as a loss. And then what happens is a few years from now, it'll show up and you're like, oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but you know what that tells me? That reminds me too. My philosophy with loaning money is don't loan what you can't lose.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I was just like, you know what? I was just getting out of having to dig up my yard, spending $15,000 on that. And she had been here for, now she's going to really know who I'm talking about.
Well, that's all right. You didn't say her name and nobody else is going to know but her.
Yeah. Coming here on vacation and going shopping and all this stuff. And I had bought the tickets for one of them to come here for vacation. And it was just shocking how they went shopping and doing this and doing that. And I understand because when you come here, you go from another country, you go shopping, it's cheap.
I'm sorry, but you still pay your bills back. Like you can't be owing me money and then flossing in front of me. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah.
So I'm looking at my phone like, oh, she hit another nerve. You hit another nerve. You've been hitting nerves right now.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to see the pattern here,
you're better than people, too. And this is the person that I paid you back. You asked me, when you I'm like, give me a few more months and I paid back. This one, not even a mention of I'm gonna no. It's the vid. We're living in the vid world, so it's all good, man.
How many nerves you got left? I ain't trying to touch no more.
Maybe about 5.
5? Oh wow, that's a good amount. You don't have that much. I mean,
No. What is it again? On my last nerve, so maybe I have one more left.
Get on your last nerve. Get on my last nerve.
How many times did you hear that from your parents? Get on my last nerve.
I was like, hey, why didn't he? I should have started counting to see what that last one is. What number that last one is.
You know what? You're so wrong.
You're like, I think there's 32 of them. Okay.
32. I'm only on, 29.
29. I got 3 left. I'm good. You almost on my last nerve, girl. That's when you get smart. How many you got left?
Oh, no. My parents are Jamaican. I didn't get smart.
Oh, no.
Because they would slap the nerve out of me.
First of all, I have all of my adult teeth. So clearly, I don't get smart either like that. I would not be talking.
I got all my adult teeth.
Exactly. I'm like, girl, they had to install me a whole new set after that.
Yeah, it's crazy. To this day, we were having a conversation about it yesterday in the hot tub. The couple of girls got together and we were just like, we can't go swimming. The pools ain't open. this ain't happening. Can we get together in a hot tub? I'm like, heck yeah.
What hot tub? You got a hot tub?
And then it started raining, so it was raining, and we were in the hot tub. It was
Wait a minute, you have a hot tub in your house?
No, I haven't done that yet.
I was about to say, wow. You don't need to leave your house for nothing.
That's coming, but I have to kind of work up to it. I'm going to get a roof before I get a hot tub.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
No, I will. But yeah, it's amazing. I forgot what I was going to tell you about the hot tub. Never mind.
Well, you just talked about, there's, you can't do anything. You can't do this, can't do that. And you might as well get in the hot tub. And it was raining coming down from the sides and stuff.
It feels good. It feels so good. I actually felt really, really good. You're just sitting there and the water is coming and it's hot. And then the water cools down with the rain. And then I'm like, let me get out. I'm like, oh, it's cold. It's cold. And then I'm like, oh, wait, you probably shouldn't have holes all over your bathing suit. That's why you're cold. I'm like, no, Sandra's, because even though it's summer, it's still colder than the water. So that's why you're cold. And you go back in, then it's really hot. Oh my God, I just loved it. I really enjoyed it. I was in the tub the hot tub until 2:30 in the morning.
Wow. Well, 2:30 in the morning, you were a raisin when you were done.
Yeah, I was. I was looking at my skin. I was just like, my skin is not going to really be the same again because
Isn't there supposed to be a limit? You're not supposed to be in them that long, though. I think.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They started talking about that after a while. I'm like, you guys, I don't know about you, but my skin is going to start to feel like leather. I need to get out.
You were cooking in there.
Somebody told me they spent 8 hours in the hot tub.
No.
Like a whole day. Like I was in the hot tub all day.
I don't even think
my beer and my margarita.
That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
But you know what? That leads us actually to a good point. You said you're going on vacation soon, right? So now,
I'm going to get some sun on the beach.
Okay.
And go fishing.
Fishing.
Yeah, that's all he did all summer is fish. That literally. He fished. He caught a catfish, and I was like, no, I don't eat them.
You don't eat catfish? They're pretty good when fried hard.
Big old catfish too. I'm like, no.
When fried hard, they're delicious.
Really? I did years and years ago, and I don't like the texture of it.
Like I said, it has to be fried hard. You like fried hard? White fish? Yeah, you deep fry it, but it's got to be fried longer than usual.
Oh.
So we say fried hard, like give me that po' boy, fried hard. That fish sandwich, fried hard.
I can't take this Southern shit. Po' boy, fried hard.
Oh boy, fried hard.
I'm like, lightly breaded, and please saute it.
Are you cooking this in olive oil?
Olive oil or rice oil?
Yes. You know what? Actually, I want it steamed. Can you just steam my fish?
Oh, if you're gonna steam it, you have to jam some onions and tomatoes and what's that pepper? Oh my God, not a Scotch bonnet pepper and some fresh thyme.
And
open it, and then you put it in the fire, and then you put it in the oven. My friends give me a hard time every time I try to use that Jamaican accent. It don't come out.
It don't come out. Jamacali. What did you say? Jamacali? What did you tell me? Jamacali.
Jamaican-born California.
Jamacali va. Jamacali va. You got to add va to the end because you're in Virginia, baby.
Oh, no.
Jamacali va.
Oh, did you just ruin it?
Jamacali in you. Okay. Well, girl,
that's funny.
I guess this was fun. I'm looking forward to the next thing. What do you think we're going to talk about next time?
Next time, it's probably going to be a little bit more serious. I have my birthday coming up, and I'm so happy
29, 31.
And I'm so blessed to have such a wonderful life, all of that stuff. But it's going to get real. I think I'm going to get really, really, really deep.
Okay.
In our next conversation. I kind of want to go back to the roots of when we started, just going through the years of the childhood and the different phases. So there were some that we hadn't talked about. And I think the last heavy one we talked about was with that chiffon green dress for my 7th birthday.
Yes, we did.
And I kind of want to follow up and come into, I'm in America now. The different things I've learned, like from when you come in from a foreign country,
Yeah.
And you're a little kid, the things you learn, I learned how to give the finger. I didn't know what that was. I was asking my parents about that. I learned so much. It was crazy. Bad words that they were telling me that's not a bad word. And to go home and ask my parents, Mom, what's dog? It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And therein lies some of the lines of why there's certain, I'm not speaking for everyone, but there's certain Africans and there's certain islanders and certain Latinos who they assimilate into the American culture, but they have some sort of disdain for it because we feel that there's some disdain towards us because we're come here to get the jobs, or they'll hire you before they hire us, that type of thing. When I personally view it, and I know a lot of the foreigners that I know personally view things as, well, we came here through our parents. We didn't volunteer. We were brought here by our parents, and my parents are working to make a better life, blah, blah, blah. So it's not because we come and take your job. It's because my parents came here, worked their butts off, made the money to put me in a position where I could get the job that I wanted, because I could go to school, I could do these things. So there's a lot of discomfort on my side, to be honest with you, in some of the ways I'm addressed and spoken to, because I'm a naturalized American, but I actually think that I am more knowledgeable and patriotic
probably
than a lot of Americans themselves. Yeah. I was teaching kids American history in high school, like high school players and football players, basketball players, I should say, football players, baseball players. So that's how I got popular.
But see, that's a good point though. So you know more history. You had to learn it, and there's more pride in it because I guess it's a wrong word to use, but like you earned your citizenship, right? Like you earned it. Yeah. You did the process, right? And then there's some of us that just was born here. And yeah, we take a lot of things for granted. It's kind of like when I used to live in Northern Virginia, I took living close to DC for granted. And it's only when people came to visit where I was like, oh, you want to go to the African American Museum?
Yeah.
I've never been. And I would go, to these museums and stuff. It's just, yeah. So you earned it. So yeah, you definitely know more history than I do. I know that for a fact.
I mean, I don't know about that, but it was just really funny to be the teacher's assistant, and I have this foreign accent.
Oh, I bet.
But I was also a tennis star. I had other gifts too, but
you appreciate
but it's just more. Really, it's just talking about going back to your question. It's talking about going back to the roots a little bit of growing up here, growing up in a very conservative, very conservative environment in California. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of times people come visit me in Virginia that's like, wow, you used to be so conservative in California. Look at you now. Like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. I'm like, DC loosened me up, man.
It did. It sounds like it did. Okay. Well, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of fun conversations. And knowing you say that we'll talk about this deep stuff next time, but it could be anything knowing you. So
I know, but spontaneity is what makes life really interesting, right?
It is.
Yeah, and then those advertisers are going to be like, oh, what are they talking about today? Wait, rice roni, and then they talk about that. And then, wait, what can we get them to advertise? Oh, really? We can advertise that? Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Let me get some Uber up in here.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been really fun. I love you, and I may have Joy join us the next time.
Sounds good. All righty. Well, let's sign off then. Till the next time.
Bye.